I was asked to share what it is I look for when I am considering a new flute or adding a flute to my toolbox. So, what I look for in a flute, it's a pretty wide need range that I have, because I will play things that are background type music where I don't want to be the focal point. I just kind of want to sit in the background. And so I tend to want a mellower flute for that. Not all of my flutes will do that. If I am performing on stage, that's a different thing, and I still might want a mellow flute, but I also might want a flute that is much bolder, louder. What I look for in most of my flutes is a certain type of clarity. Now, there are a couple of flutes that I own that don't have that, because they're kind of what I'm going to call an old school sound, and those are great for if you're looking for that. What started this topic was this flute. I was looking for a flute to back up my other C flute. This is a Wood Sounds flute, low C. Made by Brent Haynes. Great voice. I was very fortunate in finding that used from a friend. But if I'm playing on stage, if I'm performing anywhere, it could be a coffee shop or something like that, where I am the performer, I am the entertainment, and or if I'm playing outside and it's cold, my breath is warm, I might get some condensation problems, wet out. It's not real convenient always to try to clear out a flute, and even if you do, it's still going to have moisture inside for a while, and it might affect your performance, your song. Most of the songs that I use this on are associated with a rev, and those might be a 10-minute song. Possibility of wet out, especially if you're doing two of them. So I wanted to get a second low C flute. So I grabbed this one. Little mellower sound, but still nice clear notes. What I'm going to call, it plays in tune with regular 440 instruments, things like that. Not quite as loud, but that's fine. If I am on stage, I'm using a microphone, and I can get closer or further away to that microphone to make up for some of the volume difference between those flutes, as an example. So that's what I was looking for a second C flute. I could have ordered another one from Wood Sounds Flutes. I found out about wolf claw flutes, excuse me, and I got this at an amazing price. His flutes are like $125 maybe, something like that. $1,200. That's a big difference. you know. So when I'm using a tool, if I can buy one for $100 or so versus $1,000, just rounding numbers in a big round way, and I can get the same quality sound, maybe not the volume, but the same quality sound, this is filling my need. This is filling my need. I might play this one more often, maybe not. It depends. If I'm playing yoga, I won't take that one with me. Or if I'm playing background stuff, I would take this one in a heartbeat, because it's a little quieter, a little easier to back off on and still get a clear sound. So those are some things I think about also. So this was a great find for me. F-sharp flutes. This flute was gifted to me by Jan Michael Lookingwolf. I believe at one point he might have been sponsored by Wood Sounds Flutes, another Wood Sounds flute. He didn't have the fetish block. He thought that I would be able to benefit from owning this flute because of some of the style of music that I play. He is backing off and doing some more mellow things now. He hasn't been using this flute, so he gifted it to me. I had a different fetish block made. So it'll hit all of those notes. It has pretty good sized finger holes. Easy for me to hit that half hole on that lowest note. Even a quarter hole, which I sometimes need. Big, bold voice, real clear. This is the first F-sharp flute that I ever got from Gary Cool. I believe I think he is Dream Spirits Flutes, if I'm remembering correctly. I could be wrong. Alaskan Yellow Cedar, African Blackwood on the accents. Beautiful, clear sound. Not quite as loud as the Wood Sounds, but it's got a nice, bold voice. I can back off. One that I made is from Blue Pine. A little mellower voice than this one even. So this I would use as more of a background flute if need be, but I can still play some pretty aggressive type music if I wanted to. If I wanted to do rock, that still has a nice clean clear voice that I can do that. This F sharp is what I'm going to call an old school tone. It sounds to me like an older style flute that is still tuned in the modern way, minor pentatonic. Still has a clean sound, but it also has a little bit of breathiness or raspiness to it, and I like that on some songs. This one, quite often I will play as a background flute, or the other one that I made here. Here's another F sharp. This one has a pretty good range, not quite as bold as some of the other ones. This is from Heartsong Flute, J.P. Gomez. Black Walnut. I think this is Concert Sedona, or Sedona Concert Flute series line, if I remember correctly. I don't have an F sharp here handy. This one is from High Spirits. I happened to find this used at a yard sale, and I drilled the 6-hole in there. Little red cedar, what they call Little Hawk. One of my favorite flutes. It has a really wide range. This will cover almost anything I needed to do, from mellow, playing it softly. To some rock type stuff if I wanted to. It'll do all that type of thing. High Spirits tend to be another favorite of mine. This flute, I got this from Johnny Lipford, and this has kind of a little bit of the old school type sound. It doesn't hit all of the notes that I prefer. This, I believe, was made by Quiet Bear, Dwight Lind, and I think this has it has a little Johnny Lipford Cocopelli engraved in here, or inlaid in there, I guess I should say. Alaskan Yellow Cedar, Buckeye Burl, accents, G sharp flute. Has to work a little bit for those upper notes. And the half holing is a little touchier on this one. I love this because I believe this was going to be, or I think this is a prototype as to a Johnny Lipford signature flute, as I understand this. So I kind of like that. Usually, if I'm grabbing an or a G sharp, excuse me, which that is, I will grab something that works a little easier on those upper notes. So this is one that I made, kind of a semi-custom flute, Eastern red aromatic cedar on that flute. A little clearer voice, and so I tend to play that one a little bit more often. So I hope that gives you some ideas as to what I look for in a flute. What you need might be quite different. You might lean towards the more meditative, quieter flutes. Something a little softer. Versus something with a little bit more of a brightness to it. This has more clarity. It has a little more of the higher harmonics that you can hear easily through this. This one, the higher harmonics are a little more subdued. So this is a flute that I would use for meditation, yoga, background music. This one is maybe a little bit more versatile. I could use it for those and back off a little bit on the volume. Or lay into it a little harder. So maybe slightly more versatile than this one, but it's a little harder to get this one quite as mellow as that other flute. I hope this helped. These are some of the things I look for in a flute, especially the upper notes that I tend to like to play quite a bit. Half-holing on that bottom hole, how easy is that to hit? Some flutes really struggle with that, especially the smaller the finger holes. So I like a little bit larger finger holes than some people do. Again, this is just what I look for when I am looking for a new flute. You know, I was asked to share that. I hope this helped. I hope it give you something to look for when you are looking for the flute, or maybe the flutes that you have. Will they reach all of those upper notes? Thanks for watching.